What if I told you that most of your fears are nothing more than shadows, illusions created by your own mind? That the things you worry about, the anxieties that keep you up at night, the hesitation that stops you from taking action, aren't real in the way you think they are. Imagine this: you're standing at the edge of a diving board, looking down at the water below. Your heart pounds. Your mind races with thoughts: what if I hit the water wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if I can't swim back up? The longer you stand there, the stronger the fear grows. But then, someone pushes you in. You hit the water. And suddenly, you realize, it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was exhilarating. All that fear? It existed only before you jumped. That's the nature of fear. It feels enormous before you act, but once you face it, it shrinks. It was never as big as you imagined. And that's because most of what you fear is not real danger, but perceived danger, a trick played by your brain to keep you in your comfort zone. Now, let's step back for a moment. If fear is an illusion, why does it feel so real? Why does it have the power to paralyze you, to stop you from taking action, to make you feel like you are trapped in a cycle of hesitation? The answer lies in your mind's oldest programming. Fear is ancient. It is a survival mechanism that has been programmed into our brains for millions of years. When our ancestors lived in the wild, fear kept them alive. If you heard rustling in the bushes, fear kicked in, you prepared to fight, run, or freeze. This was necessary when life was full of real threats, like wild animals, hostile tribes, or life or death situations. But today, those dangers are gone, and yet, your brain still reacts the same way. Instead of fearing tigers, you fear public speaking. Instead of fearing a predator, you fear rejection, failure, or embarrassment. Here's where the illusion of fear becomes dangerous. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real threats and imagined ones. It treats social anxiety as if it's a life or death situation. It reacts to financial risks as if losing money will kill you. It sees stepping out of your comfort zone as a danger, when in reality, it's the key to your growth. But here's the shocking truth: most of your fears will never happen. Studies show that about 85% of the things people worry about never actually occur. And of the 15% that do, the majority of people handle them better than expected. So if most of your fears are imaginary, why let them control your life? The ancient Stoics understood this illusion better than anyone. The philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many times have you suffered in your mind over something that never even happened? How many opportunities have you let slip away because you were afraid of an outcome that never came to be? Fear is the greatest thief. It steals your time, your potential, your dreams. But here's something fascinating: your brain is biased toward fear. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. Your mind is wired to focus on threats more than opportunities. It's why you can receive 10 compliments, but one negative comment ruins your entire day. It's why you hesitate before making big decisions. It's why the possibility of failure feels bigger than the possibility of success. Your brain is naturally programmed to overestimate risks and underestimate your ability to handle them. But here's the truth: fear is a habit. The more you avoid what you fear, the stronger that fear becomes. Every time you run away from something uncomfortable, your brain learns avoidance equals safety. But here's the catch: safety isn't the same as success. If you always choose safety, you stay small. You stay in the same place. Growth only happens when you step into discomfort. The philosopher Plato once described fear as a phantom of the mind, an illusion we create and give power to, despite its lack of substance. In many ways, fear is like a ghost that haunts you, or not because it's real, but because you believe in it. So, how do you train your mind for courage? How do you break the illusion of fear? The first step is exposure. Scientists have proven that the best way to overcome fear is to face it in small doses. If you're afraid of public speaking, don't start with a TED Talk. Start by speaking up in a meeting. Then practice in front of friends. Then move on to a small audience. Every time you take action despite fear, you train your brain to stop seeing it as a threat. Here's something even more powerful. Fear and excitement feel the same in your body. Think about it, both make your heart race, both give you an adrenaline rush. The only difference? Your mind's interpretation. That's why some people love roller coasters while others fear them. The sensations are identical, but one person thinks this is thrilling while the other thinks this is terrifying. What if you trained yourself to see fear as excitement? Instead of saying, "I'm nervous," say, "I'm excited." This small shift rewires your brain to process fear differently. Another powerful technique? Visualization. Elite athletes use this all the time. Before a big game, they don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They mentally rehearse success, seeing themselves winning before they even step onto the field. Science proves that the brain doesn't fully distinguish between real and imagined experiences. If you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain builds neural pathways that make success feel more familiar, reducing fear when you face the real challenge. And then there's breathing. You might think fear is all in your mind, but it lives in your body. When you're afraid, your breath becomes shallow, your muscles tighten, and your body shifts into survival mode. The fastest way to take back control? Breathe deeply and slowly. Studies show that deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling to your brain that you are safe. Next time fear kicks in, try the 4-7-8 method. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This instantly calms your nervous system. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest fears that holds people back, the fear of failure. But here's the thing, what if failure isn't the opposite of success, but a part of it? Every successful person has failed, repeatedly. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. If they had let fear stop them, their success would have never happened. The difference between successful people and everyone else? They feel fear but act anyway. They know fear is just an illusion, a signal that they are stepping into the unknown, into growth, into something greater. Fear will always exist, but it doesn't have to control you. It's just an outdated survival mechanism, one that you can reprogram. And when you do, you'll discover something amazing. The more you face fear, the less power it has. The more you step into discomfort, the stronger you become. The more you act in spite of fear, the more fearless you become. So the question isn't, how do I get rid of fear? The question is, what will I do despite it? If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments, what fear are you ready to face? Until next time, face fear, take action, and step into your power.